we got this inflation report, CPI, it was supposed to come in at 3.1%, came in at 2.7%. So that's not just better than expectations. It is a lot cooler than expectations.
It's a great number. It's really good.
It's a great number. The shelter numbers, which are obvious to people who pay attention, not to like partisan hacks that you hear often in these headlines and on the internet that just want to root against the economy because they hate America. But when you listen to people who know what the hell they're talking about, they've been saying for 2 years, like when the shelter data catches up with CPI, we're already at a 2% number. The Blackstone CEO just said this on CNBC. And I get it. Everybody hates Blackstone. Everybody hates BlackRock because they're such enormous companies. And I know you can fill a river with your tears. I get it. But the Blackstone CEO is, an enormous investment company because they're smart people. Okay. And they're saying, hey, and he said this on CNBC the other day, not only are we not at 2.7%, we're at about 2%. Because if you look at real-time shelter data, 28 straight months, rents have gone down in this country per Realtor.com's reports. But it takes 2 years to catch up into CPI. And so I thought this CPI report, which is weighted very heavily towards shelter, it's over 35%, finally started to show that. Jerome Powell's acknowledged it multiple times. It takes 2 years of this data. It's lagging data for shelter in particular to kind of flow into the report. The big concern is obviously tariffs. And that's what you've heard people since April cling on to tariffs are going to destroy this country. Remember back in April, the stock market was supposed to go to zero and we were supposed to be in a deep recession.
Yeah, there was a lot of fear because it was a fear of the unknown. I mean, it was uncharted water. Yes,
I mean, what's that movie, The Purge? We're supposed to be walking around in like Doomland today. I mean,
it was a little bit of a sky is falling situation.
We weren't going to be celebrating Christmas. We were going to be collecting nuts and, roasting chestnuts by a outside fireplace. Everything was going to be over because tariffs were going to destroy everything we've known to come and enjoy. And really hasn't happened that way. Yeah, some things are certainly having an impact on tariffs. I feel it with my cigars a little bit. A couple nickels here and there on the cigars. What people are missing, Brian, is we've broken a new price level when we printed all that money in 2021, 22. And prices are never going back to 2019. They're not going back to that level. So we've broken a new price level, and inflation means they go up from here forever and always. 2% inflation means prices always go up forever and always. We're never going back to 2019 prices. It's over.
I mean, speaking
that's
of tariffs,
where people get confused.
That could be a little bit of a wild card in a good way for mortgage rates in 2026. I talk a lot about how mortgage rates are influenced by unexpected events. So if what's expected to happen happens, mortgage rates don't change. It's right. When unexpected things happen. And so last year, I don't think it was fully expected that tariffs would come into play the way that they were, but it could go potentially. I'm not saying this is likely, but it's, as we look into the new year, like what if they were to roll back the tariffs? What if Trump were to come out and say, you know what, I have made a great deal with this country and that country, and we're going to roll them back? Like we could get, a rally. Inflation could go down quickly. Even if inflation doesn't actually go down quickly, the perception that inflation will be lower in the future would absolutely move markets. So that would be interesting.
It's a light switch. He has the ability to do that light switch. So, one of the points made has been, the inflation data might not be that accurate, the CPI, because of the shutdown. And so, listen, I don't think much government information is all that accurate to begin with. So it's not like we've always had precision in these CPI reports. I think they've been overstated for years. They use a survey called owner's equivalent rent where they survey just regular people about what they think their home would rent if they were to move out and rent it. It's the dumbest survey since the 1980s. I mean, people that pick up the telephone on their wall and engage in this survey, are those really the minds, people with a home phone on the wall that are willing to pick it up and take the entire survey? Are those the minds you want basing where inflation is going on in this country? Not me. I'm sorry. That's just insane.